What do I like about Mary?
Mary is all in. When she commits to something, she's not willing to give just a piece of herself. She gives everything, and I think that's a huge benefit in any project. But more than that, as an artist, you can't really afford to give less than that.
When she just plays during the musicals, you could totally see that she's super into what she's doing, and she's very passionate about that. And I love that about, I love working with someone who's as passionate about making music as I am.
Mary is an accomplished musician, an extremely talented musician, probably one of the best piano players I know, and possibly that there is, and I honestly mean that. She is just a warm person as well, and a very warm-spirited person, a very humble person. She won't tell you much about her illustrious career in the professional music business. She sees the value and is very concerned with sharing her experience and her expertise with younger people.
Mary started playing the piano when she was 5 years old. Her mother had bought a piano from a friend, and originally just her sister was taking lessons at St. Dominic's School. Mary used to sit beside her sister while she practiced. Sometimes she would play along, and eventually her sister asked the nun at the school, Sister Josita, if Mary could also take lessons. So she started out by taking one lesson each month at 5 years old. It's never too early to start playing an instrument.
And that's kind of how I started to play, and then I continued. I liked reading in school. I think I just liked the whole learning how to read the music, and thought that was mentally challenging. Of course, I loved music, and so then I just kept studying all through grade school, and I got a new teacher in high school because we moved, and so I had a wonderful woman by the name of Mrs. Titchener who taught me up until my college years, and then I decided to pursue a degree in music. But during my piano studies, I was competing in a few competitions, and I had to do a lot of proficiency exams and did recitals, and then I decided to pursue it in college, and I was a piano performance major.
While Mary was in college, she had formed together a few bands and began to write her own original songs. Soon, she found herself playing popular music like pop and Broadway songs on the piano, while she kept learning classical performance at college.
So I started to perform in these bands, mainly like doing original music, and we had like 3 singers. It was really fun. I decided to send a recording of some of my songs to some people here, in Los Angeles. And I got a very good response, and I was signed to a publishing deal. And so I came to California to meet with Carol Lawrence, who was a famous Broadway star, to meet with her manager and to record a publishing demo with a producer. And that led me into meeting Sergio Mendes, just kind of a serendipitous situation, and that all happened like in less than a week, my first time in California, so I was sort of like, I think I want to live here.
After the publishing deal, she moved to California when she was only 20, staying with the Sergio Mendes singer, Carol Rogers, for a while. Eventually, Mary started picking up work by playing at bars and hotels in California, and by teaching piano lessons like she now teaches the men's chorus at St. Francis.
Mary's first gig was Lowry Air Force Base in Colorado. She performed with her band, the Mary Ekler Trio, comprised of a bass player, drums player, and of course, Mary on the piano. She had formed her own original band playing piano at the Blue Note, a jazz club in Boulder. As an aspiring musician in Colorado, she was having fun, getting paid, and her name was spreading, circulating in local papers until she became a somewhat known performer around town.
Was on the road with Helen Reddy and Frida Payne and Wilson Phillips, the pop band, and a pop singer named Martika, and Little Anthony and the Imperials. I was their musical director for 16 years. And Rita Coolidge. I still work with Rita and Anthony from time to time. Touring around, I got to travel to Japan, Europe, mostly to England and to Hong Kong, to Ireland, all over the States. But I got to play venues. I did the Grammys, I did the American Music Awards, I did the Tonight Show. I was really scared at first, of course, like, you know, those big audiences, and, you know, I'm this little girl from Colorado, and all of a sudden I'm playing with a celebrity, and I mean, it wasn't quite that big of a jump, but I was nervous, and, you know, if you're working with nice people, it helps you relax. I think the key, though, was preparation. If you're really prepared, it's always easier. And when I auditioned for Martika, for my audition, they didn't ask this of me, but I bought the CD and I learned the keyboard part. I mean, I learned it from the record, and I walked into the audition basically knowing the whole record. So I actually set up, I'll never forget this, I set up one of those little mirrors, you know, and I just set up my keyboard, and I just was kind of watching myself and realizing like how lame I usually do perform. And I realized, wow, people would want to see you animated and having a good time. So, you know, I just tried to do that, and I got that job. And, you know, one thing leads to another, you kind of learn, and then people get to know you and know your reputation. But I mean, I was nervous, you bet. Like, you know, it's pretty scary. You have to learn how to find ways to calm yourself down and center. And I still get nervous. It doesn't go away.
Beyond the piano, Mary Ekler has composed a film score, composed her own songs, including many of the songs at St. Francis Mass. Arranged pieces of music, she plays the synthesizer for the musicals at St. Francis, and has acted as the musical director for many shows. She even dabbles in guitar and flute.
You know, I mean, I've been exposed to so many more different kinds of music, and playing with different people, and performing on big stages, and working with celebrities, and you know, so I've certainly expanded my repertoire and expanded my knowledge. I studied composition with a teacher for many years, and I learned a great deal from him. His composer by the name and arranger by the name of Spud Murphy. You know, you grow as an individual, you gain more confidence, and, you know, and I think recording, doing, you know, when you record yourself, just like this interview, if I watch this interview, I would learn a lot. Mm-hmm. You know, you learn just how you present yourself and how to better present yourself, and when you record, you know, it's like a big mirror. You can listen and see if, you know, if your playing is fluid, and just like all of those things are great opportunities to grow as a musician. Well, this, you know, in this day and age, it's so different. But I would say, without a doubt, no matter what age you're in, is to just really be skilled at what you do, and know how to interact with people, not be a jerk, right? Because people want to be around somebody that's pleasant to be around. No matter how proficient you are at your instrument, you know, generally speaking, you know, you need to be kind and you know, be a decent person. As far as the skill set, you know, just really learning your craft. If you're a singer, if you're a pianist, to just always be working on your skills. Being a go-getter, you know, just getting out there and being heard, and not being afraid to do a job for free, especially initially. You know, it's the golden rule: give and you shall receive. You know, don't be afraid to be an intern, and you know, you have to also know your worth, so you don't sell yourself short, and really getting experience, and trying to be prepared when opportunity does call, and you know, meeting people and learning. Just put yourself in an environment where you're constantly learning and being able to grow, and also, you know, just kind of knowing your wheelhouse, knowing what you're good at. I mean, you know, I was preparing Bette Midler for Hello, Dolly recently, which is pretty amazing, actually. But as I was working with her in her home, teaching her some of the music, once in a while she'd say, "Stay in your lane." And she was joking a little bit, but it's also, you know, knowing where your boundaries are, and but also being willing to take risks. People admire you, and you know, when you're willing to express your opinion, and they respect you for it.
Currently, Mary Ekler is putting on a number of concerts. The SF Men's Chorus annual Christmas concert was just a few weeks ago. In the spring, she will also direct and play for our spring concert. For this Christmas season, she is playing a benefit concert at her church and playing at a few parties. She is also working with SF alum Casey McCreary, orchestrating his tracks for his encore performance at Vitello's.
Well, just music itself is so much fun. Like music, what's more fun? You know, just all these beautiful songs and melodies and playing with a band and hearing all the different parts, like when we do the orchestra stuff, it's all these people coming together with this common goal and making all this sound together. It's incredible. It's just an incredible experience. Really get good at what you do. You know, the bottom line is, if you're really good at what you do, it's pretty hard not to succeed. Like if you're just a really great singer, or you know, a really great piano player, and diversify. Here goes to both sides of the coin. I mean, if you know you want to be a jazz musician, then man, pour your heart into that. But you got to know kind of what to expect. You know, but I mean, if you kind of know where your heart is, follow it, and become so good at it, you know, that it's just kind of an undeniable thing.
From Mary, I've definitely learned the value of having patience when working, especially with young people. Also, there's a sense of compassion that she has, and in my own experience, so much of performing is about empathy, having empathy for the people around you, the other actors around you, and the characters that you're playing. And she is just full of empathy for the people in her life.
Stage presence is a big one. That's giving me the confidence to be on stage during a spring concert or during a play or a musical. It's stuff like that Mary's really helped me with.
I've learned a lot from Mary. I think the biggest thing is to always give back, to take your experiences and your knowledge of the creative world, a world that people think is difficult to break into, a world where young people think is an exclusive world for very special people, and to teach them that it's very accessible. I've learned that you have to chase your dreams if you really are passionate about music or are passionate about art and the creative space, that you have to work for it, and you have to spend time training for it and practicing it and really doing what you love on a daily basis in order to make that happen. And nobody's going to do it but yourself.
Don't be down, sweet baby, don't be blue. What you're thinking about, it's just not true. Sometimes you deny your voice, sometimes you can make a bad choice. But just remember, there's gonna be a better day. Don't give up, sweet darling, be aware. The way you're treating